Good morning, everybody. My name is Brother Jonas. Last time we were talking about the difference between fiat money, the tithing and the taxes, and we talking about tithing is not money, okay? And we had, when we read in Matthew 22, okay? And then we read on verse 21, it says at the end, it says that they replied, Caesar, they replied. Well, then he said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to Elohim what belongs to Elohim. Okay? And we wanted to break it down, and we're going to go to 23. And we're talking about the tithing. And Joshua was talking to the people, and he wanted to break it down for the people to understand what was the tithing, okay? And this is what it says, Matthew 23, okay, verse 23. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint and dill and cumin. Notice that even in the New Testament, the tithe is food, okay, and have neglected the weightier provisions of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. But these are the things you should have done without neglecting the others. Okay? Notice that. Now, notice what they're talking about. We're going to go to the pastor's very favorite chapters that they love to read, and we're going to break what does Joshua mean by that. Okay? We're going to go with precepts after precepts. And we're going to make you, okay? We're going to go in Malachi chapter 3. We're going to go in verse 10. This is what it says. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so there will be enough food in my temple. If you do, says Yahweh of heaven's army, I will open the windows of heaven for you, and I will pour out a blessing so great you won't have enough room to take it in. Try it. Put me to the test. Verse 11. Your crops will be abundant, okay? For I will guard them from insects, okay, and diseases. Your grapes will not fall from the vine before they are ripe, says Yahweh of heaven's army. Notice that again. They're talking about in verses 10, it says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse, so there will be enough food in my temple. Okay, food. Now, we're going to go again. We're going to break this down in Deuteronomy. What is the tithe? And why we needed to bring it on. We're going to go to Deuteronomy 14. And we're going to break it down because we need our people to know this between Elohim, his way, and our way. This is what it says. At end of every third year, bring the entire tithe of that year's harvest and store it in the nearest town. Okay? Notice that. Say, at the end of every third year, bring the entire tithe of that year's harvest and store it. See, this is what give to Elohim what is for Elohim. Okay? Give it to the Levites who will receive no allotment of the land among you, as well as to the foreigners living among you, the orphans and the widows in your towns, so they can eat and be satisfied. Then your Yahweh, your Elohim, will bless you in all your work. This is what we're talking about. And what is tithes again? We go to Deuteronomy. Okay, Deuteronomy 14, it said, verse 13, bring this tithe to the designated place of worship, the place of Yahweh your Elohim chooses for his name to be honored, and eat it there in his presence. This applies to your tithes of grain, new wine, olive oil, and the firstborn males of your flock and herds. Okay? Now, what was the purpose? When he's talking about in Matthew 23, he was talking about you guys neglected the most important thing. This is what it says. Psalms 82 verses 3, this is what it says. Defend the poor and the fatherless. When we're talking about the gospel, we're talking about the good news. This is what it means. Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and the needy. Free them from the hand of the wicked. Okay, this is the good news. Let's go to Luke 4:18. The spirit of the Yahweh is on me because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. Okay, what is the good news? Defend the poor, the fatherless, do justice, deliver them from the hands. Okay, that's the good news. Okay, the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners, and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed what? Free. See that? That's the good news. That is the gospel. Okay? Who did this? The Black Panthers was doing this. See how they were feeding the people, the children. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. See, this kid can be praying to Yahweh and Elohim because, you know what I mean? See this? See this? This is them defending the poor. See that? Look at that. You see what I'm saying? From the hands of the wicked. Okay. Now I know a lot of people say, well, we was talking about, we're going to go to heaven forever and ever. And I'm going to break it down for y'all. And I'm going to prove that we're not going to go no heaven forever and ever. Matthew 25, 35 to 40 says, for I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. You see what I'm saying? When Yahshua was talking in Matthew 23 verses 23, he was talking about, yes, you guys tithes and all that kind of stuff, but you guys neglected the most important thing. And the tithe was not money. It was food. Okay? We're going to break it down. Look at our communities today. You see what I'm saying? Our people are being brutalized. Look at this. Look at our black women today. Look at all these beautiful children. Let me break it down. This is what it says. Prove that we're not going to go to heaven forever and ever. This is what it says. In Isaiah 65:21. And I'm going to be done. What does it say? They will build houses and live in them, and they will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. Okay? Why are we going to go back on the precepts? Notice, Jacob, Genesis 30, verses 43. The man he increased excessively and had much cattle, manservants, and stuff like that. Okay? When we go to Genesis 26, 13, verses 13 and 14, the man Isaac became rich, and his wealth continued to grow and became very wealthy. He had so many flocks and herds. Okay? We're going to go to Abraham. Okay? Genesis 13 verses 2. Abraham that became very wealthy in livestock and silver and gold. Okay? What was the purpose? What did these guys have? They had commodity. Okay, they had commodity. Okay, go to Genesis 1 verses 29. Okay, go to Genesis 1 verses 11. Okay, we need to go back we need to go back to the old traditions, people. We need to go back and owning commodity, own land, oil, and all that kind of stuff so we can help our people. Tithe is food, people. Okay, we need to help our community. We need to defend our community. The good news that Yahshua wants us to bring, talking about the kingdom is within. Okay, the kingdom is within. And it's time that we start freeing our people. We start talking to our black men and our black women to not go in prison and stuff like that. We need to start helping our sister who are single. We need to help the children who don't have father in their lives. Okay, this is the whole purpose of the gospel. My name is Brother Jonas. You guys, shalom and be blessed. Have a blessed day.